Hello everybody and welcome back to Mr. P channel. In this episode of Let's Learn Google Sheets, I will show you how to freeze data. What I mean by freeze data is lock the cell or lock the formula to take always the specific cell value. Let me explain to you. Right, let's say I have two lists of both of them contain the same products. As you can see, quantity 2 buckets at £2.20, 10 mop heads at 25 pence each, and 2 handles at £1.50 each. I already have a formula here, which is take C4 and multiplies by B4, which is takes the price, multiplies by quantity, and I know total amount that I need to pay. If I'll drag that down by 1, it automatically copies this formula down plus 1 on the row. So if I'll double click on this, you see the purple and sort of orange color. It takes these two and multiplies. This one takes another data down, another row down, and multiplies these two. So if I'll drag down and double click on this, it takes this one. What it does by dragging down this, it copies down the formula and always takes the same columns and just increases rows plus 1. So let's say the grand total equals sum is £9.90. This is the same product list, but it contains VAT of 20%. As you can see here, I done a formula which is multiplies the price times quantity and then adds the percentage, which is basically does the same calculations, just multiplies by 20% to find out what is the VAT. If I will drag this down, it copies every single cell down. So it took this, it took that, and that moved one down. So right now it's not taking 20%, but it's taking the zero value, which means that it's showing only these two multiplied together, so £2.50, but doesn't adds VAT on top because this cell contains nothing. But if I'll drag even more, right now it gives me an error message. Why? Because if I'll double click on this, it takes number value, multiplies by number value, and tries to add numbers multiplied by the text, which is not working. How to freeze formula to always take this value? What you need to do, you need to see first of all which cell you want to freeze, which is G1, and in the formula I need to put a $sign in front of a row number. As you can see, $1, enter. What that means that every time I drag down, the formula always the formula will change except $1. What that symbol basically, like I said, is freeze that cell and always leaves as G row 1. So if we'll drag it down even more, now it's £3.60. So let's do a calculation here just to complete. So if I'll double click the middle one, you see it took these two multiplied together and G1 always stays the same because of a $sign. And that's the same as well. And the same works for columns. If you want to drag something, there is a formula. Let's say I want this times this times, let's do 20% equals. For example, so if I'll drag it to the right, it does 0. Why? So it's 0 times £1.50 times £3.60. That moved to the right as well. So to freeze that, what you need to put a $sign in front of the column, which one you want to freeze. So I want to freeze column G, and let's move it to the right. There's a value because obviously these two cells moved and this basically stayed frozen and is not being changed. So I hope this helps. That when I learned this $sign and the way it actually works in the formats, that helped me a lot because you don't need to do any more. Let's say I'm gonna put, for example, VAT. So it's 20%, 20%, 20%. It's just unnecessary waste of space in the table. So why you don't put this only like by here? Let's say 20% here, but then you will need manually to do all the formulas. If in the first formula you put everything what you want and just throws the values which ones you want, it's easy as just like click, drag, and drop. And it does everything automatically for you. I hope this helps you a lot. I will see you next episode. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.